Frog in my throat. No matter how much I have, all these things are mere manifestations of abundance. Sorry. This is of all prosperity. Ask Cherrie to come on up and give us our song. Good to be here with you all. This song I'm going to sing you. It was written by Sanatam Kaur, and she was a high vibrational being. I've never heard her music. I highly recommend it. The first few times. It's by thy grace that I sing for you. It's by thy grace that I sing. It's by thy grace that I sing your holy name. It's by thy it's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel your holy name. Someday the day will come and all the glory shall be mine. And people will say it's yours, and I'll still deny mine. Ooh, it's by thy grace, it's by thy grace, oh, grace. I love Jehovah, Rama Satanama, 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 Jehovah, Rama Satanama. Ooh, it's by thy grace, it's by thy grace, by thy grace. Let's welcome Eva up here for Navigating Life's Difficulties with Grace and Compassion. She's speaking to me, I know. Eva, please.
Actually, Kathy, I'm speaking to myself. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Cherrie, for the beautiful music, for Cindy there in the corner, and for the opening, really, for as we all blend together, because each of us have a part in the co-creative collaboration of this time that we have here together this morning. So good morning, Unity friends, members, and virtual onlookers. Thank you for being here on this beautiful second summer-like autumn day. There seems to be something about me being here as a guest speaker and preparing for these messages that hopefully provide some spiritual nourishment, ideas for contemplation, and more importantly, some morsels of application in your personal lives and in your spiritual development. Often what seems to happen to me is I bring a topic to share, I attract life experiences to give me some actual examples. Law of attraction, instant manifester, lessons, opportunities, etc. So as it turns out, that is true for today's message indeed, navigating life's difficulties with grace and compassion. And I might add, navigating life's difficulties with the potential for grace and compassion, because it doesn't always unfold that way if we don't participate in that intention. So there's no guarantee of the outcome as we do so, but the truth is it's been quite a run for me lately with family members and family matters that are up for review, and plenty of delicate situations to navigate with considerations of grace and compassion, while all the while intending for favorable outcomes, or at least seeking some ease in the tension. I think maybe we're just warming up for the upcoming holiday seasonal gatherings. And like many people tend to experience this time of year as in anticipation of the holidays and our get-togethers with our loved ones. Or maybe everybody here already has the perfect family and none of this exists. If so, you may leave now. I'm watching the exits closely. Seriously, over the past few weeks, I've literally had many opportunities to walk, not just talk, about the topic and the principles as I did so. So without giving too much away, I will say that our family, that is my adult kids and their spouses, have not been immune to the polarity and the conflicting differences in the times that we're now living. Some of you may have an idea of what I'm talking about. The examples are numerous. But with that said, I'm pretty darn certain many of you here have bumped into those types of differences with family or friends as of late, and seemingly increasingly. In my opinion, way too much of that is going on at this time and causing circumstances of divisiveness and conflict among us. Even if it's in the unspoken or in subtle ways that seem veiled. What I've noticed in our family is really some serious rubs and personality clashes that have come to the fore. Now, normally I must admit, with a healthy dose of mother's pride, that my adult children really are decent and reasonable people, and so are their partners. All the things that a parent could hope for: loving, caring, productive, successful, and many other things that we often view as favorable qualities in our friends and coworkers, and especially in our loved ones. We also, like many families, don't see each other all in one place all that often. especially since the pandemic. So we're deliberately beginning to create new opportunities to gather and spend recreational and memory-making time together. Now, that at a glance may seem easy enough, but as I said, we have all noticed that there's some underlying conflict that just seems to be right under the radar. Can't quite put your finger on it, but something feels a little off from time to time. So for myself, having spent the past several decades pursuing effective communications, this felt really troubling to me from time to time. And I'm thinking, can't we just talk it out and hopefully come to some common resolve, find some miraculous way to get on back to our usual happy holidays and family get-togethers? Apparently not. In our case, one thing has led to another and got to the point where I was led to call a family meeting. Now, I am the matriarch, so I do have that ability to do that from time to time, but I haven't done so in a very long time, probably decades. So all of this just to see if we could begin some kind of dialogue to address the matters and that we feel that are most important to us, and to introduce the idea. My goal was to suggest that we attempt a family reboot of some type, realizing fully, like so many people that are now attempting to do so after being isolated, put through postponements, cancellations that came with disappointments, and often separated us for long periods of time over the past couple of years. Well, I'm here to tell you that did happen. We did get together, and oh my goodness, it was tough. We did meet, and we did have some structure and form to our conversation to keep us focused and to keep the sharing relevant, and above all, to be respectful. A lot was covered and a lot was revealed. It cleared the air, but it also felt very muddy at times. The intention was set to honor everyone's choice and not to try to change anyone, but to focus on our common love for one another, which is the glue that keeps us connected, as it does for so many people. And from a spiritual perspective, obviously brings us life lessons, karmic lessons, and opportunities to become better people, both individually and within our family units. And my update as of today, it's still a work in progress. But fortunately, there's a lot of willingness, and foundationally, caring, compassion, and grace are our guiding virtues. So I feel the personal experience that I have shared today is related to today's message. As I've mentioned, many people are experiencing shifts that are happening in our collective, both for the better and potentially for the much worse things to occur. And for us individually, if you haven't noticed, it's not exactly a time for the meek or faint at heart. It takes a lot of energy to anchor and hold the space for the greater virtues and the outcomes. We're now moving into a time where collaboration and consideration of other people will become increasingly important and literally necessary for our survival and for the fate of our planet. We are not likely to be able to dig into our rigid opinions and beliefs without encountering increasing conflict and/or resistance from others along the way. Moreover, from a spiritual perspective, as many Christians have used as a guiding phrase, you might ask, what would Jesus do? And I'm here to tell you my understanding of who Jesus was as a man and ultimately as a master would not likely be acting out in the ways that we seem as commonplace in our current times. Many, many people, it seems, feel that it's no longer necessary to be accountable for their actions, their words, or their deeds. And in my opinion, that's not a sustainable formula for humanity moving forward. So I would invite you to take some time to reflect in the week ahead about any relationships that you feel that are important to you or that you may desire to maintain, and perhaps specifically that you may now be in a place of pause, or if they're stressed in any way. Consider your relationships and begin to review which one may need some of your additional time and attention, your love, your care, your nurturing, because you all, more so perhaps than most, have the ability and the knowingness to do so as you have more of a conscious awareness of the importance of your spiritual development and journey through your grace and your compassion. I personally feel that relationships should always carry an element of reasonable balance. That is, in the giving and the receiving, the necessary balance of reciprocation. When there's more giving or taking in relationships, things can start to feel awkward or obviously misaligned. Many people are beginning to notice that their relationships are out of balance and or literally are no longer desirable, just not led to hang out with some of the folks that you had in the past. And it's actually an opportunity for us to really begin to get clarity on who and what we want to be interfacing in our life experiences, at least in the condition they currently stand. So this is especially true when challenges arise and people aren't willing to be accountable or to consider their behaviors that are hurtful, destructive, or inappropriate. One really highly elevated way to address the difficulties in life and life circumstances and or problematic relationships is to ask for the intervention of God's favor. It's really a specific call or request. And in this application, favor means asking your God of understanding to step into the situation and make a worthwhile or noticeable difference. Favor is a high way to connect to your destiny. When you are connected to favor, you're connected to goodness, grace, and a miracle mindset that aligns with the law of attraction that will elevate, heal, and significantly improve your experiences. Another element of that, of course, is faith. That is the idea of letting go and letting God lead. Often in our private thoughts and musings, we create our own idea of how things should look. That is to give direction to the universe of how we think things should go. Here's an idea. And it's okay, but we say what we should, how it should go or how it should be to get resolution. So we really limit our ability to bring in a greater experience of miracles. That process is actually a unilateral exercise, and then it doesn't invite spirit to co-create, but rather it limits the possibilities and overlooks the realm of miraculous outcomes and the unlimited potential that's truly available. It often serves us well, as my career coach once told me, to have a productive pause. And what she meant by that is there's no really retract from the endless mind chatter that ever spins through the problem solving to a softer approach that allows for linear time to produce the best solution and the outcomes for our difficulties and tough circumstances. So divine guidance is always available and it never fails to deliver. As we allow for inspiration to stream through us, it can be useful to be mindful of the synchronicities that occur in our daily affairs and to practice gratefulness and express gratitude for kind actions and deeds gifted to you and gifted to your loved ones. And apply the formula of 70 times 7 when considering forgiveness of others. And foundationally, forgiveness towards yourself for all matters where you may have lingering guilt, regrets, and or shame around past mistakes or poor choices you may have made. And as you know, we can only change the past by how we perceive it. The future is in the realm of the unknown, but the perfection of the now moment, or as I love to say, in the now age, it gives us hope, inspiration, and personal ability to shape and create our lives in meaningful and powerful ways based upon the divine attributes of grace and compassion. Amen. And as we shift into a deeper place of contemplation during the time of meditation, I invite you to begin to relax, gently close your eyes, and allow these words to bring clarity and meaning to your understanding of grace as it is deepened within you. We're reminded of the words found in Scripture from the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verses 20 through 22, where Jesus shared these words of encouragement and reassurance. For where 2 or more of you are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of you. Then Peter came to Jesus and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And the master replied to him and said, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Now for a moment, be mindful of your physical body, making adjustments in your immediate personal space to accommodate your physical comfort. Noticing any obvious tension or strain, and gently invite these conditions to soften, to begin to relax. Begin to realize there is a great wall of love surrounding you as you relax more deeply and engage with the field of light around your body and within this room. Begin to feel a softening in and around you as you do so. And once you have settled into a quieter place, begin to notice the pattern of your breath. Noticing the warmth of your in-breath and the flow of ease with the out-breath, the exhalation. Symbolically and literally releasing even more tension, any congestion, stagnant energy clusters, or just overall discomfort. If you're comfortable doing so, begin to deepening your breath cycle. If possible, use the pattern of 2, 4, or 6 seconds to count your inhalations, and 2, 4, or 6 seconds as you exhale. Counting to 6 with the in-breath, holding momentarily if you're able, and slowly releasing to the count of 6. Observe your physical body softening and allowing for increase in your relaxation as you do so. Stay with your breath as you visualize it flowing directly from divine source, from the cosmic field of unlimited possibilities. If perhaps you're dealing with a health issue or struggling with a matter in your life, career, relationships, or finances, or any other personal challenge, imagine these issues are now being flooded with this healing energy glaze. Allow the intensity of the pranic life force to fill your physical being and extend outward into your auric field. Feel it expand as you pay greater attention to that cycle. Breath in, hold momentarily as the life force expands and reaches your inner being at a cellular level. Then exhale. Imagine that this vibrational light brings into you perfection of inner balance and harmony as it moves through you and within you and beyond to radiate outward from your heart center. As you periodically return to your breath and make any slight physical adjustments to keep you comfortable, be open to receiving greater insights, answers to your prayers, relief of your symptoms, and overall greater ease. Invite into your intuitive mind any message from your guides, guardians, cosmic beings, and ancestral kindred spirits. Allow yourself to clearly see, know, and understand that you are surrounded and supported by legions of helpers to sustain and promote your healing and well-being. Be with this group now as you open to even greater guidance for your life and expanding spiritual awareness that is omnipresent. Consider making it a priority to spend more time developing your relationships and being open to signs and synchronicities and messages that inspire, uplift, and bring you comfort. I now invite you to shift your alignment to your heart center, bringing your inner awareness to the chakra, using your breath as a connection and guide to access this center more deeply. And begin to feel the harmonic resonance that allows your physical being to be absorbed into this peaceful space. To this field of pure and love and acceptance. The place within you, that innate peace and acceptance of all beings is held. Knowing that all is one and oneness is our universal connection. Be willing to bring into this light a person or circumstance that may be troubling you or weighing you down. Just expand your heart space enough to allow this to occur. Nothing to force or figure out from the mind. Just a softening to allow you to just be with this amplified field of unconditional love. Here, there is a space for all of it, No resistance, no exclusions, no exceptions. Still using your breath to more fully anchor this notion into your greater field of possibilities. And while allowing this to occur, ask to be shown some sense of greater understanding, a way to see compassion, apply mercy, or to embrace an acceptance. Allow your heart space to speak, to give you a message or insight about this person or situation. Be open to greater awareness and enlightenment related to this subject. And take a moment to appreciate yourself in this now moment of peace as you continue into your day and as you begin this new week. Embrace the gifts and opportunities of this day and what it brings your way. Now slowly returning now to the awareness of your breath, and consciously gather and collect the peace-filled molecules that you have attracted to your energy field, and breathe in that sustaining content that they offer. Collect the wisdom and potential by holding this energy. Consider storing it tucked away deep within you for access at another time when you may need added support or clarity. For now, gently bring your awareness back into this sacred space and return with a sense of restoration and vitality to support yourself and your service towards others.
Thank you so much, Eva. That was beautiful. Thank you. Let's say our offering prayer, please. There is no lack or limitation. Freely I give, and freely I receive from God's abundance. I am blessed as I give, and unity is blessed in receiving. Different ways that we can tithe, if maybe you've forgotten your check. You can also just go out to the website and look there as well. And let's welcome Cherrie back, please. Open up to the surface. That was awesome. I've been thinking a lot about seeds lately, and how seeds are the beginning of life and also the end of life. And this is such the season for it. So the second song is called Gone Beyond, and the front end of it is a Buddhist poem. So I'm just gonna say it before I sing it. As a flower blown out by the wind goes to rest and cannot be denied, so the wise man freed from individuality goes to rest and cannot be defined. As a flower blown out by the wind Thank you again. That was beautiful. Let's bring up our gifts, please. Oh, there we go. Dear God, let us bless these gifts that have been given from our hearts. Bless them to unity, all of its needs. Bless our center and put this money where it needs to be. Amen. Okay, just a few announcements. Next week, yes, please join us. Susan Larkin and Candy will be giving us our lesson next week, Spirit in Our Soul. That's the ticket. The Unity Book Club continues on, American Dirt. I know I'm not involved in this, but I did read the book. It's just unbelievable. They are meeting at 9:30, either in person or virtual. And if you'd like to join in, I don't think it's too late, is it? No. Go ahead and let somebody know at the center. We'll make sure you get the invites. Silent Unity Prayer continues pretty quickly after the book study, beginning at 11. And as was mentioned earlier, our chaplain is with us. We have the prayer box over there. Please put those prayers in there. We keep them here for 30 days and then send them off to Unity Center. Unity. Yeah. And Kevin, did you want to say something? Oh, okay. Of course, in Miracle continues. I don't see Joanne though. So maybe not today. More to come on that. But it is mostly every Sunday. On our website, we have the bulletin board. If you need to post something, you have something to offer, you've written something, you want to write something, please, again, out there on the bulletin board with at unitycenter.com, unitycentermilwaukee.com. Go ahead and take care of that. We have an Inspiring Insights. We have all sorts of wonderful things out there, including past Sunday services. Life Journey Group is still meeting on the 2nd and the 4th Mondays, beginning at 6:30. Again, this Monday, there you go. And again, if you'd like to join in, you don't have to have been a member forever. Just come on in, just call and let somebody at the center know. And again, we'll make sure you get the particulars on that. We're always looking for volunteers. This is getting a little old. We did spice it up the other day. I kind of rearranged things. I don't know if you noticed, but anyway, yeah, if there's something you want to do, watering the plants behind us, making sure there's paper and pens in the pews and in the seats behind us, all sorts of wonderful things. If you got a niche for it, you go ahead and give us a yell. And Diane, where's Diane? There's Diane too. She'll help you out. Okay. And let's everybody go ahead and stand and let's, oh yeah, Kevin wants to speak.
Yeah, just one quick word. My friend Phoenix said that he would love to speak to us today about a few words about the law of attraction. I said at the end of service, Phoenix, we're gonna go through our song first, and then you'll have a chance. Anybody who has an interest and can stick around for a few minutes after service can stay and listen. So let's stand for our final song. And let's just remember to send this out into the whole world. So go ahead, Cindy.
Let us walk
God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. Thanks for joining us. We have some snacks out there, and anyone who has time to listen to Phoenix message for a few minutes on the law of attraction, please stick around.
Hello. Hi. So some years back, I, with some friends, had an interfaith Gnostic center on Prospect in a lovely Victorian house that years prior to this I saw in my mind's eye would be the place where this center would be. And I've puzzled many years over this phenomena because I've experienced so many synchronicities in my life. And I've struggled with my understanding of the law of attraction, as many in my generation have, because of how many people still suffer in this world. But I think it's important to remember that in Christianity we are encouraged to ask and you will receive. That's also been difficult for me as a Christian and a Buddhist. There's also an emphasis on self-sacrifice and surrendering to the will of that which is beyond us. But God is love, and love is usually hoping that we're doing what's best for us and makes us most happy in life. And I just wanted to say something about this because I wrote an article that I regret because of all these years of struggling with these concepts. And I just wanted to say that I'm grateful that communities like this exist, and I will continue to try to figure out how to talk about these subjects with members of my generation who find it very difficult to accept such simple and universal truths.
Yeah.